In the grand theater of human history, nothing quite captures the imagination like the moment of first contact, the initial encounter between two distinct civilizations. Today, we're not just retelling these events, we're immersing ourselves in the high drama of clashing cultures, in the intoxicating mix of trepidation and exhilaration. We're stepping into the shoes of explorers, conquerors, diplomats, and even invaders, as they stand on the precipice of the unknown. It's a journey that spans continents and eras, from the icy rivers of the Viking lands to the glittering temples of the Aztec Empire. We'll wander the strange paths of the enigmatic sea peoples, savor the exotic allure of the East African coast that drew Chinese explorers, and listen to the defiant chants of the Maori echoing against Dutch sails. These are not just tales from the past, they are encounters that shook the world, reshaping our societies and cultures. Let's delve into the vortex of time and experience the three most unusual accounts of first contact in history, and even a bonus encounter at the end to shed more light on the accounts of first contacts in history. Hold on to your seats, folks. History has never been this thrilling. From the tragic clash in the Pacific, our journey takes us further back in time, steering us towards the enigmatic realms of ancient history. We traverse the tumultuous seas of time, away from the rolling waves of New Zealand to the sun-baked shores of the mighty Nile. Here we encounter a civilization that has carved its glory in stone and time: ancient Egypt. Our first encounter whisks us back to around 1175 BC. A time cloaked in the grandeur of pharaohs and the mystery of the unknown. This epic witnessed a riveting encounter, one that reverberated through the sands of time, leaving historians intrigued for centuries to come. In the realm of ancient Egypt, pharaohs ruled, pyramids pierced the sky, and the mighty Nile cradled a civilization that was a beacon of human achievement. Yet even this civilization, formidable as it was, found itself faced with an enigma from beyond its borders: the Sea Peoples. The Sea Peoples remain one of antiquity's most tantalizing mysteries. Their identity veiled in uncertainty, they emerge on the stage of history around 1175 BC. Seemingly from nowhere, their origins shrouded in the mists of time. Many theories abound about the identity of these sea peoples. Were they marauding invaders from the Aegean or displaced wanderers from a crumbling Hittite empire? Did they emerge from the turbulent heart of the collapsing Late Bronze Age? Scholars have grappled with these questions for centuries, seeking answers in the sparse clues scattered across ancient records. Egypt's pharaoh at the time, Ramesses III, left detailed inscriptions and reliefs of a great conflict with these sea-born adversaries. The narrative on the walls of his mortuary temple in Medinet Habu bears testament to the fierce clash. He boasts of his victory, declaring, "They were dragged, overturned, and laid low upon the beach, slain and made heaps from stern to bow of their galleys, while all their things were cast upon the water." But this encounter was more than just a military confrontation. It was a cultural shock, a realization of the volatility of their world, and perhaps a prelude to the decline of their era. The clash with the Sea Peoples marked the end of the Bronze Age and the beginning of a time of chaos that would engulf the Mediterranean. The Sea Peoples vanished as mysteriously as they appeared, their legacy as enigmatic as their origins. Yet their impact was profound. This encounter shook the ancient world, signaling the end of an era and setting the stage for the dawning of a new age in human history. From the sun-baked shores of the mighty Nile, we ride the currents of history into the world of the 10th century AD. Here, the winds of our journey take us far from Egypt's iconic pyramids to the chilling expanse of the north, where longships slice through icy rivers under the gaze of Odin and Thor. Welcome to the world of the Vikings, also called Rus. Our second encounter unfurls in 921 AD, a time when the intricate weave of human cultures was still largely unexplored, and the crossroads of civilizations were fraught with the promise of wealth and the peril of the unknown. Picture a man of faith, a learned emissary of the Abbasid Caliph of Baghdad, sent on a diplomatic mission to the Volga Bulgars. This man, Ahmad ibn Fadlan possessed a keen eye for detail and a knack for preserving his experiences in eloquent prose. Little did he know that his writings would become a priceless window into a world that would captivate and confound historians and scholars for centuries to come. The world of the Vikings. Stepping ashore the Viking land, Ibn Fadlan found himself surrounded by a culture entirely different from his own. He was among men who bore the sea in their souls, whose language was as foreign to him as the frost-kissed landscape, and whose customs stirred both curiosity and horror. In his accounts, Ibn Fadlan paints vivid images of the Vikings, their towering physique, elaborate tattoos, and intricate burial rituals, which included ship burials that signified their eternal bond with the sea. His writings offer us an unprecedented glimpse into their life, revealing a culture that thrived on honor, valor, and a reverence for the forces of nature. Yet, this encounter wasn't without its tensions and tribulations. Ibn Fadlan's detailed account of a Rus ship burial, with its ritual human sacrifice, served as a stark testament to the cultural chasm that existed between the Islamic world and the Vikings. Even so, the encounter of Ibn Fadlan with the Viking goes down in history as a remarkable moment of cultural exchange. It offers a rare glimpse into a civilization that thrived in a time and place where written records were scarce. This chance meeting on the shores of the Volga River serves as a testament to the enduring power of human connection, of how curiosity and coexistence can carve out a space of understanding in a world divided by differences. As we close the chapter on Ibn Fadlan and the Viking, we cast off the icy winds of the north, setting our sights on the distant horizon. Our journey across the epics now sails towards a different corner of the world, one where dragon-laden junks sliced through the azure waters, their silhouettes an echo of a grand civilization in the east. This is the dawn of the 15th century, the era of a man whose voyages would rival, if not surpass, those of the more famous European explorers who sailed a century later. Welcome to the age of Zheng He and the treasure fleets of the Ming Dynasty. Zheng He, a court eunuch, a trusted advisor, and a seasoned mariner, led an armada of gargantuan proportions. With over 27,000 men on more than 300 ships, Zheng He was on a mission to assert Ming Dynasty's power, establish diplomatic ties, and expand the empire's trade networks. In the early 1400s, these colossal fleets embarked on a series of ambitious voyages that would take them as far as the eastern coast of Africa, an incredible feat for the time. Their journey was not just a marvel of seafaring prowess, but also a momentous cultural and diplomatic endeavor. As Zheng He's junks approached the Swahili Coast, their silhouette on the horizon would have been a sight to behold for the African locals. An air of suspense gripped both parties as they faced an encounter with the utterly unknown. Despite the language barriers and cultural chasm, the encounter between the Ming Dynasty's envoys and the African locals was surprisingly peaceful, characterized by an exchange of gifts and goods. Exotic African animals, including zebras and giraffes, were taken back to the Chinese court, their presence sparking intrigue and fascination. Zheng He's encounters on the Swahili Coast symbolize a moment of harmonious interaction between distinct cultures. These voyages not only expanded the horizons of the known world for both the Chinese and Africans, but also deepened their mutual understanding. It was an instance of first contact that, unlike many others, was not marred by conflict or exploitation, but celebrated the shared spirit of exploration and curiosity. As we leave the bustling ports of the Ming Dynasty and the spice-scented breezes of the Swahili Coast, we journey forth on the timeline to the dawn of the 16th century. Our narrative now takes us to the verdant landscapes of Mesoamerica, where grand pyramids kissed the sky and a civilization thrived in a harmony of nature and artistry. This was the world of the Aztecs, a world about to face an unexpected and earth-shattering encounter. It's the year 1519, and on the shores of the Gulf of Mexico, a scene unfolds that would signal the end of an era and the painful birth of a new one. In the heart of the old world, a drive for wealth, power, and religious propagation had given rise to a wave of exploration. Among these explorers was Hernan Cortes, a Spanish conquistador who would become a central figure in one of history's most transformative first encounters. Cortes and his men arrived on the shores of the Aztec Empire with dreams of El Dorado, the fabled city of gold. As they came face to face with the sophisticated civilization of the Aztecs, both parties found themselves in a vortex of curiosity, tension, and apprehension. For the Aztecs, the sight of men in steel armor, atop massive beasts, was an omen of impending change. Their emperor, Montezuma II, received Cortes and his men with a mix of dread and respect, fueled by the belief that Cortes might be the feathered serpent god Quetzalcoatl. In contrast, the Spanish saw a civilization ripe for conquest and conversion. Amid the grandeur of the Aztec capital, Tenochtitlan, they set their sights on the empire's abundant wealth. But this encounter wasn't just a lustful eye upon gold, it was the dramatic clash of two worlds, two cultures, two worldviews. The initial meeting between Cortes and Montezuma is often romanticized as a peaceful exchange of gifts. However, beneath this veneer of cordiality, tensions simmered, ultimately culminating in the devastating siege of Tenochtitlan. The once proud city of the Aztecs fell, and with it, an entire civilization. The encounter between the Spanish conquistadors and the Aztec Empire was a paradigm-shifting event, one that signaled the beginning of the end for pre-Columbian civilizations. It echoes through time as a somber reminder of the destructive potential of cultural misunderstanding and unchecked ambition. As we stand at the crossroads of history, these encounters remind us of our shared past, full of ambition, curiosity, and conflict. These stories guide us, inspire us, and caution us. So let's carry them forward, navigating our shared future with empathy, understanding, and a deep appreciation for our diverse, interconnected world. Thank you for joining us on this voyage through time.